Hello everyone, this is Nate Vitti 2. This is a video covering the disability of Veteran Affairs. VA is undergoing its most significant regulatory and organizational modernization in decades. This is for as of early 2026, and some of the changes will be mid-year, and some are still being decided, but this is a layout of what they could be, and some are already in place. As of early 2026, Department of Early Veteran Affairs is undergoing most significant regulatory and organizational modernization in decades. These changes, primarily driven by the VA schedule for rating disability, VASRD modernization, and the PACT Act, shifts the focus from merely having a diagnosis to how disability affects daily function. This is an in-depth report outlining what you must know to protect your ratings and ensure your future ratings. And I'll go ahead and give you a forewarning. When you go into your medical appointments at the VA, be sure and be honest about your pain. If you say it's controlled, it's less than what it should, what you actually feel, then you will start saying, "Hey, it's already treated," and look at the other things. But because they're changing to this, how it affects your daily life could take away some of your benefits. As it stands right now, people who already have the pre-existing disabilities should remain the same unless significant findings that you're not just as disabled as you are in your rating or changes in your disability rating. So make sure you are honest about your treatment and about how you actually feel, what's going on, and it will go in detail and give you some examples. There's a checklist at the end of this report, of this texting, the text video, that will lay out what you need to say in certain places. And I recommend that you go visit SITREP on YouTube, SITREP for disability on the YouTube, and it's in my it's linked in my text on this. Number one, major changes to rating schedule VA SRD. The VA is moving away from symptom-based checklist toward a functional impairment model. This is critical because it changes the type of evidence you need to provide during the compensation and pension exam, CMP exam. A mental health 5 functional domain. Effective as of 2025, the general rating formula for mental disorders has shifted, focusing on occupational and social impairment. It is in a broad sense, the VA now evaluates 5 specific domains in your life. The domains will be, I say, and then what the VA evaluates. For the cognitive, memory, concentration, decision-making, and mental fatigue. Interpersonal, interaction with family, friends, and the public, social isolation. Task completion, ability to initiate and finish chores, work duties, or hygiene. Navigating environment, ability to leave the house, travel, or handle crowds. Self-care, nutrition, medication management, and personal grooming. Evaluation under the old system, it was difficult to reach 100% this rating without total occupational impairment. The new system allows for 100% ratings if you have total impairment, score 4 in just one domain, or score 3 in 2 domains. Actions needed. Do not just list symptoms. Example, I feel sad. You must document functional failures. Example, I missed 4 days of work last month because I could not leave my bedroom, or I don't want to go out, and I haven't been shopping during the day when it's crowded because I can't be around crowds. I avoid going to congested areas. I don't drive because I feel confined. Things like that is what you need to list on there. Make sure to list what exactly is bothering you, what exactly you are doing. Tinnitus. Tinnitus and sleep apnea implemented in mid-2020, will be implemented in mid-2026. Tinnitus, the VA is eliminating the standalone 110% rating for tinnitus. Instead, it will be rated as symptom of another service-connected condition like hearing loss or TBI. If you do not have another ear-related disability, you may receive a 0% non-compensatable hear rating. Sleep apnea. The 50% automatic rating for requiring a CPAP machine is ending. New ratings will be based upon treatment response. If a CPAP successfully treats your sleep apnea and you're asymptomatic, you may be rated at 0%. You will only receive higher ratings, 100%, if the treatment fails to manage symptoms or cause other complications. And yes, report anytime you can't sleep with the mask is not working, and keep all that in mind. Action needed. If you have these conditions but haven't file before the 2026 cutoff. Veterans rated are grandfathered and will keep their existing percentage unless they file for an increase. So most likely leave it as it is. Don't mess with it. If you're file, be honest, be faithful, and explain everything. 2, the PACT Act and toxic exposure expansion. The honoring of the PACT Act remains the largest expansion of benefits in the VA history. By 2026, the phased rollout is complete, meaning all eligible veterans from the Vietnam, Gulf War, and post 9/11 eras have full access to presumptive conditions. Presumptive status. If you served in a covered location, examples Iraq, Afghanistan, burn pit areas, the Vietnam, and anywhere Agent Orange was. You no longer, also asbestos if you're on an older ship or you're in older buildings, check for asbestos and get it put in your medical record. You no longer need to prove a nexus or link between your service and condition of like asthma, chronic retinitis, or the 20 plus types of cancer. The link is presumed by law. Toxic exposure screening. Every veteran enrolled in the VA healthcare is now required to receive a screening at least once every 5 years. Action needed. Even if you're healthy, ensure your toxic exposure screening is in your medical file. This serves as a placeholder for the future claims if conditions develop later in life. 3, the future of care, community care, and Elizabeth Dole Act. The Senator Elizabeth Dole 21st Century Veterans Healthcare and Benefits Improvement Act 2025 has streamlined how veterans access non-VA care. Wait times standards. If a VA cannot offer an appointment within 20 days for the primary mental health care or 28 days for the specialty care, you are automatically eligible for community care. Direct access. Women veterans can now schedule appointments with VA gynecologists without a referral from the primary care providers. Action needed. If your local VA clinic is backlogged, invoke the Elizabeth Dole Act standards to request a referral to a private doctor in your neighborhood. Evaluation strategic reality. The good. Mental health, more veterans will likely qualify for 70% or 100% ratings based on the criteria are broader. Tinnitus and sleep apnea. This is bad. The failure of future claimants will find it significant harder to get high ratings for these common conditions. Good. PACT Act. Nexus letters are no longer needed for dozens of conditions, saving veterans thousands in legal and medical fees. The bad. Bureaucracy. The VHA, which is Veterans VHA's Veterans Health Administration, Veterans Health Administration. The VHA organization of 2026 may cause temporary administration delays in regional office. I'll go into that one later. 5, preparation checklist for veterans. And be sure intent to file. Submit an ITF today. This preserves your effective date for up to 1 year. So you can file an ITF 1 year out, and you should have your diagnosis within that. Be sure to file within that year. Functional evidence. Obtain a statement of support of claim, Form 21-4183, and that's on the VA website. From family members describing your functional domains. Example, how he can no longer manage the household finances due to memory loss. He or she, be sure and get all that noted and make sure they submit that list. And I would even go to coworkers and managers, if you have some, that they can go in detail, explain if you're missing stuff and now that. But 9 times out of 10, you probably won't be at the job long if you're not finishing your task. Check the master list. Ensure your service locations match the PACT Act presumption list. There is a master list on the VA website that lists the PACT Act locations and what they are. Check the list and ensure that the location you are declaring is on that list. I'll go into another situation, but we'll get into that later. Review the rating schedule. Before your CMP exam, read the 38 CFR Part 4 for your specific condition as you understand the keywords, for example, for examiners looking for. And then there's a big bibliography of resources. And what I'll go over to on this is those keywords are important. If you write, he has an issue sometimes, he doesn't feel pain at these times of day, those are going to kind of get, you want things like chronic, incapacity, pain, fear of going in crowds, will not leave the house due to fear, anxiety, whatever. Make sure that's all listed in there and they specifically get the words they're looking for. And this will help streamline your disability claim. Said something earlier. Oh, that Dole Act, I see it as a good thing, but I also see the drawbacks of it due to the fact that they're cutting down the perimeter personnel, that stitch is going to be longer. And I do think there's still going to be some roadblocks to get that community care. You can try it and you should try it. As far as your disabilities and all that, document it. And if you're still in the military, it's still serving you, and you want to know what to do, don't be a he-man. Don't ignore the pain. You need to go every time and report it to medical. You want that background in your military medical record so that it can be used for your VA. The more information you have in your medical record means the more information they have for your VA disability claim when you get out. If you feel as though you have a disability, have it checked out if you're still in the military before. If you're in question, you can contact the disabled American veterans, American Legion, Veterans of Foreign Wars, those locations you can ask. You can find attorneys for the VA. You can get a VA attorney, but I've seen a lot of people have gotten their VA claims without these attorneys. If you do the right stuff, ensure that the information is in your record, and you pull your record and verify that that information is worded the way it needs to be worded. And always, always, always check the notes of doctors and ensure that they're noting everything you need. If you feel as though your pain is a 9 and you're incapable of operating for days at a time, make sure that's noted in your record. Ensure they list it. Do not argue with them. Just state it, and hopefully they put it in the record. If you do have a disagreement with a healthcare provider, mental or the primary care or specialty, there are advocates in Veterans Affairs in each clinic for that information. The primary care clinics, depending on your location, depends on where they actually are located. But report everything to your patient advocate, your caseworker. Ensure that they have that information. And we are supposed to have a caseworker, but I have yet to get a record of it. The other thing is you have a primary care. If you're under mental health, you have a psychologist, and then you also have a doctor of your of your medicines. They look at your medicines and verify you have the right medicines, look for conflicts, and that's what their job is, and that you can contact them also. Mine just happens to be my mental health psychiatrist. And on the end of this video, when you look at the text on this post in Substack, you'll come across a checklist, and this is the layout of what you need to do for your disability claim. What is a CMP exam? CMP stands for Compensation and Pension Examination. The purpose is it is medical examination scheduled by VA for third-party contractors like QTC and VAS. I think I got LHI. Those are the three primaries that I know of. To evaluate the severity of your disability or so determined. if your condition is service connected. Be honest, be truthful, tell them everything, and do not gloss over the issues. If your leg makes it so painful you can't walk, tell them. If you have been issued any device, knee brace, ankle brace, back brace, or cane, walker, wheelchair, always use it, especially if you're going to the VA. Make sure you're using it. The goal of the CMP exam, the examiner is not there to treat you. Their job is to fill out disability benefit questionnaire, the DBQ. The information on the DBQ determines your percentage rating from 0 to 100%. Don't know if it's been enacted, but I know the administration was trying to cut out 0 to 30%. In this checklist of what you need, this functional impairment worksheet 2026 mental health standards instructions. Use this worksheet to prepare for your CMP exam. Do not just list symptoms. Provide life examples of what happened on your worst day. That's key. Worst day or worst couple days or worst week, worst month. Be sure to do that. And yeah, we'll give some examples. The functional domain of cognitive. Key semester, don't forget, do you forget appointment? Do you lose focus during tasks? Do you experience brain fog? Oh, that's a big one. That stops your work. You gotta see. I don't know if I'll go into more if it's not there. An example of what you should write. Here's a life example. I forgot to pick up my kids from school twice last month because of memory issues. I forgot to pay my bills, things like that. I forgot that I left boiling water on the stove. I forgot I turned my oven on. I forgot I was cooking something. All that stuff, put it in there. Ensure that you have as much data as you can. Interpersonal. Do you argue with coworkers? Have you isolated yourself from friends? Do you have difficulty in public crowds? Example, I haven't gone to a grocery store during daylight hours in a year because I can't handle the crowds, or I don't like to go to the doctor's office because I don't want to be in the waiting room with a bunch of people. I don't like to drive in rush hour. All those are real life examples that you need to put in there. Ensure that you list all of them. The more information you provide, the better chances you are of getting your disability. Task completion. Can you start and finish a chore? Do you get overwhelmed by simple instructions? Have you lost a job due to missed deadlines? That's what I was talking about before. You lose your job if you don't finish your work. Those are key assessment questions. The example, I started 5 home repairs projects in 6 months and haven't finished one because I lose the will to continue. I don't feel like finishing it. I feel dread if I finish it, whatever. Be sure and explain that stuff. Navigating environment. Can you drive to a new place? Do you get lost in a familiar area? Do you feel trapped when you leave the house? Example, I missed my VA appointments because I had a panic attack while driving and had to pull over for an hour. I didn't make a court date. I didn't make an appointment to see my lawyer. I didn't make an appointment for my Social Security. All that is important. Make sure they note it, because not only is it taking notes for them to get your diagnosis, I'll explain more later. Skin care or self-care. Skin care is important too. Are you negligent hygiene? Do you forget to eat or take meds? Can you manage your own bank account? My spouse has asked to manage all of our bills because I lose track of money and forget to pay the rent, or forget to pay bills. I forget to pay this. I forget to do that. That all needs to be taken into consideration. Some of it may be in cognitive, but you also need to put it in self-care. It's been a month. I haven't taken a bath in a month. I haven't taken a shower in a month. I don't wash my hands. I don't brush my teeth. I'll go days wearing the same clothes. I'll go months without doing something. I skip meals on certain days if I'm feeling depressed or anxious. I cannot go to I cannot go to a restaurant because the anxiety will bother me. Those are all important to put in those notes. Okay. 3, retrieve your medical record and service records. The VA claim you need 3 things: current diagnosis, an in-service event or injury, a nexus link between them. You need your record for all 3. Some of the issues I've seen is certain things are missing out of people's records. If there's a classified location, you might not be in your record. Find out the classification and see if there's the best way around that is to get other military members around you to write a statement, locations you were at if it's not in your record. You can ask to change your record. If you notice an error, you can request to update a record. But you will have to provide proof of that information. If you can't provide the proof, they won't change it. Statements from co-workers or veteran friends, people on your battle buddies, all those people can write statements of where you've been and what to get that information. Make sure you have that. And if you suffered some of the symptoms during that time, have them include that on the letters. Only stuff they have witnessed, because they may be questioned and it would not be good if they don't have personal knowledge. Service records OMPF contains your awards, MOS, deployment, and disciplinary records. How to get them. Submit a standard form 180 SF 180 to the National Personnel Records NPRC, and on that form there's the locations of certain documents. There are a lot of documents that are, I think it's Vietnam era and before, may not be at the archive. That archive, it may be at another archive. Be sure and get that information. Online options, use the archives.gov eVet records portal. I thought, oh yes, I do have that linked if you hit archives.gov in this write-up. Service treatment record. This is where I was telling you, make sure you go for your treatments during their military time. These are the medical records from when you were on active duty. How to get them. If you recently separated, they are likely in your C file. See below. Another one. If you're separated decades ago, they are at the NPRC in St. Louis. Again, look at the top of the sheet. It tells you where your records may be. And if you go to a certain location, they're not there. They may tell you where to send it. C, VA medical records. Records of your treatment at the VA hospital. How to get them. Log into your MyHealth eVet, MyHealthEVet.gov or .va. You can also get there by va.gov. And use the blue button. Click the blue. You can go to medical records, and there's a button that says blue button. That is how to get your records. You'll click it, and it'll take a few days, a week or so, maybe even 2, to get that organized so you can download it. And then you can download your entire record. The C file is your claims file. The most important document. This is the master folder the VA uses to decide your claim. It includes past CNP exams and internal notes. How to get it. You must submit a Privacy Act request, VA form 20-10206. It will take 6 to 12 months to receive this CD on a CD or via digital download, but it is essential for seeing what past examiners have said about you. Yes, I have not got the C file. I got to go get the C file for myself, but I'm at 100% disability. I've also got 35% PACT Act, I think. And that's because I've got the initial symptoms. I don't have full blown yet. Verified resources and video guide. For a highly detailed visual breakdown of these changes, the VA official SITREP channel is the primary verifiable source on YouTube. Watch the VA SITREP here, and it's linked here in my texting on the text part. What videos are recommended? I recommend you watch the video on mental health rating changes or how to read your DBQ, bibliography of the different connections you need there, Department of Veteran Affairs, Community Care, Veterans Administration, the adjuvant procedure, and No, if you're filing for rating increases, ensure you have a current diagnosis that is less than 1 year old before your CMP exam. And if you're going for an increase, you need to have been talking to your doctor about the stuff that goes there. And if you go to that sit reps, they'll also lay out different things that are joint. You have like this causes this, like the TBI causes memory loss and hearing issues. So when you file a TBI, you can file an additional request for hearing, tinnitus, whatever you have, hearing loss, stuff like that. That website, those people will lay it out what you need to know. They'll also go into depth on how to word it. I have used them. They are very good. They are also up to date and they update themselves and give the new outcome of what's changing. There's the change to COLA, I think, coming up. And of course, we just had an increase of our disability. So this is all important stuff. Ensure that you check the site down. You can copy the checklist off mine. Use that if you need it. Make sure and check the links provided. And hopefully this will get you prepared and done with your disability claim. Thank you for staying to the end. Like, share, follow. Please remember you are loved no matter what you do. And this is on my Substack post. So thank you very much. And please follow on Substack if you're not already.